Now it's time for some chef news, and we've got a great one today in the kitchen. Chef John.
He's showing me. Chef John is showing me. He says, isn't this a beautiful fish? From the Italian fisherman, baked orange Roughy. Baked orange Roughy seems like it's something most of us haven't heard of. You've heard of grouper or tilapia, but this is different.
You know, that's one of those big mysteries. I can recall back in the late 70s, early 80s when orange Roughy was still first being introduced into the U.S. market, and it was popular every place. It showed up on every menu. And then it got overfished for a while. So it really, set down the flow of the product in here to the United States, and people went to other things like sea bass and other stuff, that's out Chilean sea bass such. But this orange Roughy fish is still one of the best flavors. It's sweet. The meat really flakes. It has no, obviously, odor to it. It just comes in a nice thickness. This is about a third of the regular size that you'll get commercially. Well, we buy it, in 22-pound packages.
Where is it from?
Mostly New Zealand, that New Zealand, Australia area,
all right.
Down under. So we're going to take that, and it's a simple recipe in a sense, but it's just so much flavor. I've taken a pan here that we're going to be putting in the oven at 425 degrees. We're going to put a nice fillet of that. That's about a 6-ounce fillet. And we got a little skim milk we're going to put around it here. That's just to keep it moist.
Ah.
Okay.
Never seen anyone do that.
Yeah.
So does that work with all fish?
Yeah, it'll work with all fish. It'll work with all fish.
Oh.
And skim so you don't have all the milk solids, so that it doesn't create other things from the oven. But then we're going to be mixing together in this bowl a number of products that we're going to use in our topping.
Okay.
We've got some tomato here, some diced tomato, which I've seeded to the large extent.
Okay.
We've got some sweet onion that I've sauteed a little because I want to be sure that it's done to the degree of doneness that you want when you're going to have it out of the oven.
So how long did you saute it?
Just 3 or 4 minutes, medium heat. We got some fresh garlic we put through the press. We've also got a little bit of Lowry seasoning salt. We've also got some butter.
Okay. It's looking pretty good.
Yeah, it's going to have flavor, I can assure you that. And then we're going to take some breadcrumbs.
Now this is the stuffing?
It's the baked topping, yes, sir.
Okay.
And a little bit of fresh garlic. And we're going to mix that all together good.
Okay, while you're mixing that, tell us about this wine dinner you have coming up September 16th.
Well, it's one of the most exciting dinners I think I've ever been able to host. I really came up with the idea around the world in 5 wines. So what I've done is I've selected 5 continents from North America to Africa to South America to Europe to Australia, and we've selected a indigenous food, in this case, for example, the orange Roughy from the Australia, New Zealand area, and then I've researched a recipe, and I'm pairing it with a wine from that area too. And these are wines that typically you're not seeing on the shelf of the grocery store, like Australia. We're not going to do Yellowtail. It's a great wine, but we're going to do a Viognier, which is a white, crisp wine that'll go very well with this. In Italy, we're going to have a Sicilian red wine, for example. In the Northeast, we're going to have a old-fashioned homemade cream pie with fresh Northwest berries.
Wow.
And the wine up there is going to be a dry wine that's white wine. I don't actually remember what it is, but anyhow.
So how does it work? Do you get to taste a little bit of each food and get that flavor and then taste the wine that goes with it?
Yes, ma'am, yeah. And we'll have a representative of international wines that'll be there to talk a little bit about the wine, its origin, its area of growth. But yeah, the whole idea is to be able to realize you got 5 courses. Wow. That you have more than just a appetizer. Like South Africa, we're going to have 3 appetizers for South Africa.
Wow.
One is a shrimp Mozambique. The other is a melon salad with a special syrup that they make. And the other is a special battered type of onion ring. And another is going to be a mushroom cap stuffed with basil cream cheese and walnut.
Are you keeping up with this? Because I barely can. This is a lot of food. September 16th. It's $60 a person.
Inclusive. And
probably want to make reservations. It's going to fill up, right?
I would say by tomorrow we probably will be filled up.
All right. We'll have the phone number on fox10tv.com on our Studio 10 page, as well as this recipe. Chef John's going to finish this topping, and then we'll see what's next in a few minutes.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. This is going to put in the oven for about 20 minutes.
Chef John always doing fantastic stuff. Great food there at the Italian Fisherman. Hey, well...
over here with some seafood now. Chef John owns the Italian Fisherman in Mobile, and you're right past Florida on Old Shell.
Yeah, just east of Florida on Old Shell Road, just 3 doors down by everybody's favorite ice cream store, the Dutch Ice Cream, Cammy's Dutch Ice Cream. Yeah.
All right, easy to find, and there's a picture so you can see. How many people does your restaurant hold?
60 to 65, depending upon whether we have a buffet set up or we're like we do. Actually, we did a funeral group recently for 75 people. A little tight, but everybody's very pleased. And we had
it's a nice, quaint place, but probably a good idea to make reservations just to make sure you get in, especially if it's on a Friday or Saturday night.
Yeah, and like I say, we had some people show up, I guess, a couple weeks ago, which during the summer is rare. But they came at 7:15, which is a prime time with daylight savings time.
Right.
And there was, 8 different tables empty, but we couldn't let them sit down. Why? Because every table had an assigned guest coming in within the next 15, 20 minutes.
Reservations.
Make a reservation, costs you nothing, assures you a seat at the end, and basically 478-2881 will get you there.
And assures you some good food like this baked orange Roughy that Chef John's making this morning. So you did add one more ingredient we want to remind everyone about.
Yeah, some paprika. It's a sweet smoked paprika, which was on the menu, on the recipe. Didn't want to confuse your audience, but basically that just adds just a little flavor again. You got some great flavors there between onion, tomato, and such. And then when we're done there, we're going to add a little bit of this dry sherry and make a little bit of a sauce that we can put over it.
And how long are you going to cook this?
About 20 minutes should be enough. You always want to do fish at a high temperature, 425, 450. Cook it fast, don't dry it out, and so that's something that pertains to anything, even on the grill. Have a high temperature on the grill, flip it once, 3-4 minutes on each side is generally enough.
And Chef John also did something really interesting in the first cooking segment. If you missed it, he added skim milk around the fish to keep it nice and moist. So we'll let that cook. This smells so good. What is this?
This is, if you don't feel like having a pina colada, you can use your coconut milk in here. We're going to make a coconut rice. So we've got coconut milk that we're going to bring down in volume, and then we're going to be adding some jasmine rice and some water, and then we're going to also put in just a little salt and sugar and some raisins.
Oh, that's different.
And it's going to come out. This next batch isn't going to be quite that dark. Fact is, I take exception with the recipe I researched and said I should take it down to the point I did to get it that dark. So, that's something you do with recipes. Sometimes you learn what you see printed isn't always the best way to do it. I don't know why they put something like that in there, but they say take it down till it's black and cracks and you get these little pieces. Well, I thought I was going to have to call the fire department before I got
Oh, that's no good. So glad that you came up with your own style of doing this. So you have the coconut milk cooking here, medium heat, and so now is it hot enough to start the rice?
Yeah, it certainly is. Let me go ahead and do this. I'm just going to take it up, kick it up a notch there.
Okay.
So I got a cup of rice. And I'm going to do 1.5 cups of water. We got 3 in there now. Get on the right side here. I want to take it down to 12 ounces. All right, that'll work good.
Never seen rice with raisins. Have you guys?
Give it a good stir, get it going. I'm going to go ahead and increase the temperature to bring it to a boil before we turn it back down.
All right.
We're going to take a pinch of salt.
Okay.
And we'll take a good tablespoon of granulated sugar, and we'll take about half these nice seedless raisins.
All right.
That's just sort of almost Asian, but it's really. This is a very popular preparation throughout South America too. This particular rice.
And you mentioned this fish, this orange Roughy, is from New Zealand. So we're bringing in a lot of influences here in this dish. How long do you need to boil the rice?
Once it comes to a boil, we're going to turn it down, simmer it for 10 to 15 minutes.
Okay.
Covered.
Covered. Okay.
Yeah, covered.
Good point there.
So the rice absorbs all the moisture.
Fish is in the oven. Rice is in the pot. I think we have everything cooking right now to finish our dish. I can't wait to taste. Oh my gosh, I don't know what I want to taste first, but we're gonna have to wait because it does have a little bit longer to cook. You can get the recipe and make this for your family or just yourself, whatever works for you. Fox10tv.com on our Studio 10 page. Chef John, we're gonna smell like coconut all day long. It smells good. I don't mind it. Chef John from the Italian Fisherman making some coconut rice with raisins, and this smells so good. And also the baked orange Roughy that we have here, fish from New Zealand. You said it's a flaky fish, light.
Oh yeah, boy, it'll flake for you real nice.
Okay, well, we'll taste this. And is the rice about done?
Yeah, it's just not quite as tight as it could be, but we'll go ahead and put it on the plate just so it can start cooling. But yeah, it's coconut milk base with jasmine rice, which tends to be a little sweet in its own right. But anyhow, it's going to be some great flavors there. You can get this menu and our new restaurant menu on our website that's really updated, and all our upcoming events like 6, 20, and 27th September. We've got live music, the wine dinner on September 16th. Call today if you want to join us because we only have like four slots left.
Okay.
This is just one of five courses you'll taste.
Okay, so a lot going on, $60, but again, you have 5 different wines, you have 5 courses. It's going to be a good night, so make those reservations. And if you want to go visit the Italian Fisherman any other night, Old Shell Road, just east of Florida Street, open Wednesday through Saturday, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so go in and check it out. I want to check this out. I want to taste this. And the topping, again, what's in the topping?
You've got onion, breadcrumbs, you've got a little bit of paprika, seedless tomato, a little salt, pepper. It's just, a bunch of great things. Garlic.
Complements it very, very
you can
well.
Taste the garlic, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, love garlic, though. The recipe, fox10tv.com, Studio 10 page. Again, you can go get it at the Italian Fisherman. Thanks so much.
Thanks so
It's
much.
good.
Have a great day.
I'm going to have another bite.
Please do. Please do.